Where to start first with ground marketing? First, you need to have your starter list. If you don't know what that is, check the description below to download the instructions and template on how to create your own starter list. Then we need to do community research. There are 3 ways basically to do community research. Number 1. What's up, guys? Now, a lot of you who are a part of my newsletter, you know this month we're kind of talking about where to get started with ground marketing, right? Where to start with your ground marketing. And right now in that newsletter, we're kind of coming across the path of community research and radius checks. So what we need to do is we're not just going to go out randomly and go to a bunch of businesses and just drop off goodies and things like that, right? That's not ground marketing. That's not strategic. That's just you hoping people will see your information and call you back. We don't do that, right? You need to know exactly the businesses you're going to go to. So first things first is we need to learn what community research is. And I'm going to teach you like 3 ways how to do community research, right? The first way is going to be through literally your laptop, your computer. You can just do it at home or do it at the office. The second way is another easy way. It's through your phone. The way you can do community research through your phone and find these businesses and how far they are. And then the third way is you physically actually going to these locations or driving around your community and so forth. So I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into this. I don't want to make this video too long, so let's get into it. Alrighty, so community research is pretty simple when you're doing it on your laptop. So for example, what you can do is go to Google, right? Let's just say you're looking for medical locations, right? Surgeons. You want to partner up with surgeons. So surgeons near me, we can type that, something simple, right? And you kind of see surgeons near them, but you want to go to maps. And then once you see maps, you kind of see, okay, Ontario Dental Center, probably not the best thing to go to since you're a dentist, right? MD, perfect. MED, surgical, right? The California Hospital, perfect. And you're going to notice as you zoom in more things may start appearing, right? Or maybe you can zoom out more and more things start appearing. You see a bunch right here. Always keep in mind like the location you're looking, but do you see how more things started appearing? San Antonio Advanced, Rancho Wellness, Edward, MDs. These are all MDs. And a lot of the times, let's just say you're looking at the map area, we tend to forget this area right here, the left side. I really don't know what it's called, but it's like almost like a carousel, right? But vertical carousel. So you kind of can see right here. Okay, let's look at inland oral and maxillofacial surgeons, right? Okay, perfect. It's all the way right here, right? Sometimes you're not going to notice it, but then once you click it, you notice it. You can go back to results. These are your results right here that you started off with. Let's go to plastic surgeon. It's all the way up here, right? So keep a note of this. Make sure you are, writing them down in your area. But here's how you're going to figure out how far they are, right? And it's very easy to figure out. Like, for example, let's just say you're Ontario Dental Center, right? And if whoever's watching this is Ontario Dental Center, I hope it's okay that I'm using you as an example. But this is what you can do. Go to mapquest.com, right? And this is what we call a radius check, right? So what you can do is, you want to click this button right here. You don't have to log in or sign up or anything. You just want to get directions. And then when you're starting, so assuming you know your address, right? Let's just say this is your address. You're going to paste it right there. And then let's just say you're looking for surgeons or maybe corporations, right? Corporations. And sometimes all it takes is for you to just type in corporations, and then you're going to see corporations, right? Let's click this one. This is Alsop Corporations. And then you can paste and then get directions. And then you're going to notice, oh, okay, it's only 7 minutes away with current traffic heavy, which to me, honestly, that's a good amount of time. Like, that's not that bad at all. 7 minutes away. Normally I like to do 15 minutes and under. So in the map, it looks kind of far, right? Because you're right here and then you're like, oh my gosh, it's all the way over here. That looks too long. No, let's just stick to this area. But no, 7 minutes away it's nothing, guys. So definitely that's something you would want to call, right? Now, obviously, if you look at more corporations, let's just say you're looking at corporations, some of these may be farther, right? So let's just go with this one, Riverside Housing Authority. you may think like, okay, it looks kind of close. Let's check it out. And then you see it's 30 minutes away. That's too far, way too far. Assuming the traffic is always moderate, that's too far. So, you're not going to go to that one, right? Just go to one that's closer. And yeah, guys, this is how you do the radius check. And honestly, that's basically it. You can type in surgeon, type in whatever, right, near me. You can even get more specific. You can type in cosmetic surgeon and so forth. That's the community research. Don't forget to check this side. And then this is the radius check, right? You're checking how far it is from your practice. And so this is the first way on how you can do this. Now, the second way you can do this is open up your iMaps, right? Or Maps or whatever, right? I normally just go to Maps, go here, and then you look, right? Surgeons. Search surgeons nearby, oral surgeons, right? And so forth. This one kind of already tells you there's one location near you. But look up surgeons, right? And then you're going to see, boom, the same thing. And then this is a little bit faster than the other way, community research. Honestly, this is how I've been doing it recently. I've kind of just been just Googling on here, or not Googling, but going on my maps and then figuring it out from there. So let's just say you want to go visit this guy right here. Directions, 9 minutes away, right? So that's not that bad, not that bad. You can keep going. Upland Surgical Associates, let's figure that out. That's 14 minutes away. Ooh, kind of cutting it close, right? So another thing you can do is, like, for example, banks, right? If you're doing the bank strategy. And remember, all of these strategies can be found in the ground marketing course, guys, which I'm going to put a link to the ground marketing course below in the description. But banks, there's BBVA. Okay, that was actually a good example. You see how you zoom in, it shows more banks. Oh, but when you zoom out, it says one plus one more. So there's one bank. Here's Wells Fargo. You zoom in more. There's U.S. Bank, Wells Fargo, right? So, and they're all pretty close. So let's just say 6 minutes away. Yeah, they're all pretty close. And yeah, guys, this is another way you can do your community research and radius check, right? You're just literally on the phone. There's really no excuse to say like, oh, I'm taking my time. I'm doing all this community research, it's taking hours. No, if you feel like an employee's telling you that or somebody's telling you that, that's an excuse. Because you see how easy it is. You can just do it on your phone. Now this is an iPhone, so I'm not sure if on Samsung, I'm pretty sure that's the same thing. You can do it on Samsung or whatever other phone you have, unless it's like one of those old school Motorola flip phones or something. Probably not on there. So yeah, guys, this is the second way you can do it, and now I'm going to show you the third way. And so the third way you guys can do this community research, which this is honestly something I highly recommend, is driving around for a bit, because a lot of the times these businesses are not listed on either Google Maps or Google, right? Sometimes they're so new, or sometimes they're just that old school where they're not listed. Not every single business is on there. So drive around, right? And at the same time, when you're driving around, it sparks ideas. It sparks more like, oh, this corporation is a lot smaller than I thought. It's not as big as it looked on Google. It's going to be easier, right? Or, wow, this corporation is huge, humongous, right? Like Google undersold it. So I definitely recommend driving around for, I don't know, we always do it for like about maybe 30 minutes, right? Just looking around and then seeing businesses. You're like, oh, you know what? I should go to that restaurant right there. Or, you know what? I forgot about this salon, or I forgot about that Dunkin' Donuts, or I forgot about Aldi or Michael's, right, craft store and stuff like that. Like you forget when you're searching, right? When you're put on the spot and you're searching on Google, only things I can think of, or only things that come up are like main businesses sometimes, like just banks and gyms and wellness spas, right, and surgeons. But sometimes when you're driving around, you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that place, or I forgot about that type of coffee shop, or you know what I mean, I forgot about this Home Depot and so forth. So drive around, take the time to drive around, and you'll see more opportunities come up. So I highly recommend you guys do that. You guys can do all three of these strategies if you want, or you can just do one or the other, right? Now, if you're just gonna solely depend on driving around, I kind of recommend you also do something else, because driving around will take up more of your time than, right, just Googling and finding a bunch of businesses. So this is how you guys are going to get started, right? And that's it, guys. That's pretty much how you do the community research, don't forget the first step is you're going to Google, right? You can do it on a desktop or laptop. Google, type in surgeons, type in fitness facility, type in gyms, type in restaurants, whatever you want to look at, right, according to your starters list. And then how you're going to figure out how far they are is through MapQuest, right? That's how I do it, mapquest.com, and then check out the radius from your practice to that location. Next thing is through your phone, right? You can easily go onto Maps or whatever phone you have or navigation system, but you can go onto Maps, right, on an Apple phone, and then just type in, like I showed you, surgeons or whatever, and it's going to say search nearby. You just click it, and then you can click on the actual business, and then it's going to say how far the location is, right? And that's the second way. And the third way, which I recommend always to do, is driving around, right? You do want to drive around and make sure you're, you know what I mean, noticing other types of businesses and things like that, because a lot of the times that's when more ideas spark, right? You're going to say, hey, look, how come that didn't show up on Google Maps? Or how come that didn't show up on our iMaps, right? Or maybe you're driving around and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about restaurants, or I forgot about this type of facility, I forgot about Dunkin' Donuts, right? So, or grocery stores. It's really good to drive around. And basically that's it, guys. So if you want, this video comes with a free downloadable, a free thing. I have made instructions on creating your starters list and also a template for your starter list. In the instructions and in the template, it kind of explains how to do and create your starters list so you can start your ground marketing and know which businesses you should be going to and so forth. So guys, it's in the description below. It's free. Just go ahead and download and get the starters list instruction and the template, and then from that point on you can start finding out where to start ground marketing, and then you can start going into these businesses. Now, note of caution, each business and each location has a specific strategy you need to do. It has a specific tactic, a specific method, a specific script. You have to talk to a specific person, right? You can't just go into a restaurant, do a strategy, and expect to do that same strategy to a corporation or a grocery store or a small business, right? It's all different. Sometimes you'll also have to walk in, and sometimes you're gonna have to call these locations, right? So it's all different, but I recommend, if you want to know exactly what to do, the exact scripts, who to talk to, how to talk to them, if you want to know if you should walk in, call them, all these things, guys, all of this lives in the ground marketing course. And we continue to add to the ground marketing course, so it's like an ever-growing course. But I'm going to put a link to that in the description below. If you are interested in the ground marketing course, you will not only just have access to all of that, but at the same time, you'll have access to me and my team, right? So any questions, concerns, and so forth, we will be able to cover that for you and answer it according to your community and specific situation. So yeah, guys, if you're interested in the ground marketing course, I'm going to put a link to that in the description below. If you're interested in getting the starter list instructions and the template, you can also get that in the description below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.